Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again, and it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. Kisumu is also fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from. The county or the country in case you are out of the republic. For this particular video, let me know the name of the county you are watching it from. Ladies and gentlemen, Pauline Njoroge, one of the most refined bloggers in the Republic of Kenya, was arrested yesterday. And for me, the arrest of Pauline Njoroge did not come as a surprise. I knew at some point Pauline Njoroge was going to be arrested or was going to be targeted for several reasons. One of them is that Pauline Njoroge is a close associate of Uhuru Kenyatta. And therefore, the moment Uhuru Kenyatta became a target, Pauline Njoroge being a close associate, definitely. Number two, Pauline Njoroge is also close associate of Karanja Kibicho. They worked very closely with Karanja Kibicho, which means having worked with Karanja Kibicho, who was the principal secretary for Interior, probably Pauline Njoroge still has those contacts within the security apparatus. And lastly, the fact that Pauline Njoroge declined to take government offer to work for them is also one of the reasons why I knew Pauline Njoroge was likely to be targeted. But there is a day Pauline Njoroge made a particular post on her Facebook page, and I knew something was likely to happen to her. Let me just take you through that post which Pauline Njoroge made, I think just a day or so before she was arrested. This is what Pauline Njoroge posted. This is what Pauline Njoroge posted. Sometimes I wonder what Itumbi's fictional posts are meant to achieve. For example, yesterday, he wrote a long post detailing how His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta is in Mombasa. Yet I can tell you, as a matter of fact, the heavens being my witness, that Uhuru has not left Nairobi since he got back from Goma. Do these people expect that when they feed Kenyans with propaganda, the price of unga and fuel will go down? Or what exactly is the objective of these lies? And so, what even if Uhuru was in Mombasa? Is it unconstitutional? I know most of you are wondering why this post, which is innocent, could have landed Pauline Njoroge into some trouble. The truth of the matter is that it seems Uhuru Kenyatta got the government off guard, and they could not trace him. He's rather lost. But Itumbi was now giving a theory that, okay, you see, Raila is in Malindi, Uhuru is also in Malindi, and they've abandoned the demonstrators are demonstrating. And you see, the idea why Itumbi was doing that was because they wanted to create a narrative that Uhuru and Raila and their families are actually enjoying somewhere in Mombasa, while you, ordinary Kenyan, you are left at the mercy of mandamanos or the mercy of the police. So when Pauline Njoroge made this post, and she was very categorical that let me repeat that part, that yet I can tell you as a matter of fact, the heavens being my witness, that Uhuru has not left Nairobi. Pauline Njoroge was 100% sure that Uhuru Kenyatta never left Nairobi. Then, I think, was it later that day, or was it later in the next day, or later that day, the CID invaded the residence of Uhuru Kenyatta, Uhuru Kenyatta's son, and then Uhuru Kenyatta emerged. Then every Kenyan were asking Itumbi, why were you saying Uhuru and the family were in Mombasa, while these guys are actually just in their homes? For me, that was the reason why Pauline Njoroge was arrested, because she even came later and reminded Kenyans that, something here, that the guy who told you that Uhuru had left Nairobi with his family to go holiday elsewhere, and that Raila was in Malindi, is the same guy who will do a Hustler Nation Intelligence Bureau post about how Uhuru is funding Mandamano. So basically, Pauline Njoroge exposed the lies, but at the same time, Pauline Njoroge also exposed herself that she's actually in the know about Uhuru Kenyatta. So this arrest, if you ask me, is about certain political objectives. I want us to go through those objectives. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys from the bottom of my heart for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And also allow me to thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee they sent me earlier today, which I received, and I'm grateful. You can also do the same using the numbers you are seeing on your screens. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us dive in. Why was Pauline Njoroge arrested? Pauline Njoroge was actually arrested in Watamu. And I think she had gone there just to relax. And this is what the DCI, because you know, the DCI also have their theory. What I do is analysis, and my analysis could be wrong. But let us go through what these guys are saying, because we do critical analysis. Sometimes we also criticize what they are saying here. Now, this is what the DCI posted. Kilifi, Malindi Sub-County, Watamu Police Post. Subject arrest of suspect for being in possession of suspected narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. OB number at 1809 hours. At around 1630 hours, officers from DCI Kilifi County, while tracing, I want you to mark that, while tracing for one Pauline Njoroge, intercepted a vehicle registration number KCV 116T Toyota Hiace, silver in color, along Watamu Jacaranda Road, and upon search from the vehicle, 4 rolls of dry plant material suspected to be narcotic drugs, zile nini za Wajakoya the 5th. The occupant, namely Pauline Njoroge, a Kikuyu female, adult 37 years. Jane Mwangi Dota, a Kikuyu female, age 37 years. And 3, Emanze Jilani, a Giriama male, adult 46, driver. I think this is the driver of the vehicle. A further search was conducted at their residence at Mawe Zuri Resort House, number 32, which was occupied by Jane Mwangi, and a clear container containing 10 tablets suspected to be narcotic substance was recovered. And in house number 9, which was occupied by Pauline Njoroge, a clear substance containing 50 tablets suspected to be narcotic substance was also recovered. All suspects were booked and placed in custody to be charged with the offense of being in possession of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substance. A vehicle registration number was also detained. So this matter is likely to be taken to court tomorrow, and we'll be able to see how far it will go. But let me just point out one thing which I've noted here. The DCI are saying that while tracing, they were actually tracing Pauline Njoroge. So they were tracing Pauline Njoroge from wherever, maybe Nairobi or wherever, all the way to Kilifi. They were tracing for Pauline Njoroge. But what happened? When they arrested Njoroge, what happened? They went to the house, found some drugs. And Pauline Njoroge has been charged with narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. So I don't think that Pauline Njoroge could have been trailed all the way from Nairobi to Mombasa, to Watamu, just for the drugs. Those who I've talked to a few guys who knows Pauline Njoroge personally. I know Pauline Njoroge just like you know her online. I've never interacted with her. Most of the people close to her say that the lady is very far away from drugs. She's not even alcoholic. And that Pauline Njoroge has tried to keep, even the friends she keeps are people who are clean. But I don't want to dispute anything. Let's wait for the investigations to take place. But for me, on this channel, what I do is that I give my political perspective on each and every matter affecting the Republic of Kenya. On this matter, I think the objectives were, number one, why she was arrested. You know, the government of the Republic of Kenya currently has identified Uhuru Kenyatta as the financier of Mandamano. And not only Mandamano, that Uhuru Kenyatta is actually funding Raila Odinga to overthrow the government. And they even came up with a timeline by August. And for you to overthrow the government, it means you must have people close to you. And I think in the government circles, they believe that Pauline Njoroge is close to Uhuru Kenyatta. And therefore, she might have some information on how Uhuru Kenyatta is operating. I told you the other day that Makwiny Njoroge was arrested, right? He has not yet been produced. There was claim that some 40 million trail were found. Then there was the raid on Uhuru Kenyatta's son. Then now Pauline Njoroge. Uhuru Kenyatta's son raid was related to some weapons. Then Pauline Njoroge, probably tomorrow, you'll get a different story. So for me, the arrest of Pauline Njoroge is to try, the government is trying to extract information. I'm sure, 100% certain, that by now, Pauline Njoroge's phone is being analyzed. The details, the people she calls, who are they? The people she meets, who are they? You know, all those details. So for me, the government wants more information. Number two, it's a strategy to silence government critics. Yesterday on this platform, I opined that there's a clear strategy to silence government critics, to scare members of parliament, and even the demonstrators. So Pauline Njoroge has actually emerged as one of the lethal critics of the government of Kenya. That's the fact. The government always says this. Pauline Njoroge would always sometimes counter with facts. I think there was the issue when the Iranian president came into the country. Before he came, there were these stories. Oh, he was supposed to come today, the next day. Then Pauline Njoroge wrote a very interesting article on diplomacy, because I think she also understands diplomacy. So in my view, the idea is to silence government critics. If you've been going through Pauline Njoroge's post of late, whatever she's posting there are critical of the current government. And when the Kisumu story came up, Pauline Njoroge was actually the lead vocalist against government, talking of the massacring. The massacre happening in Nyanza is heartbreaking. The images are painful to see. Men organs are being mutilated, very interesting things. So in my view, the idea is to silence government critics. Number three, in my view, is that probably there is a scheme to target those who are close or are around Uhuru Kenyatta. I'm saying this because Uhuru Kenyatta's mother has been targeted, the son targeted. There is a perception that Uhuru Kenyatta is funding Makwiny Njoroge, arrested. Now Pauline Njoroge. Who will be the next? Number four, I'm also certain that this could also be related to her refusal to accept to work with Kenya Kwanza. We are in a country where politics is driven by two constant factors: interest and betrayal. Many people I know, people like Silas Jakakimba, who betrayed Raila Odinga in broad daylight. People like Jalango mwenyewe, who betrayed Raila Odinga in broad daylight. Pauline Njoroge, for example, has refused to work with the government. The government told her, you come. I think she indicated that those guys were willing to give her, was it 6 million per month or how much? She said, no. I am who I am because of Uhuru Kenyatta. I cannot betray Uhuru Kenyatta. Don't think that the government will just let you. They make the move for you to work with them. You refuse. And lastly, I think the government is also not comfortable by the fact that Pauline Njoroge is actually able to counter government propaganda. Remember, this was the lady who was in charge of government messaging during Uhuru Kenyatta's regime. When William Ruto is launching a project, she has that project, details about it. She can easily tell you that the project the president is launching was launched 6 years ago. So for me, those are some of the reasons why Pauline Njoroge is currently being detained. But the police also have a different theory, which we'll wait to see tomorrow or maybe this day in court. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.